The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Alana stepped forward. Her boots echoed against the crystalline floor, each step measured and deliberate. Around her, representatives from 47 species watched with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. Humanity had been part of the council for barely 3 cycles, yet here stood their ambassador, requesting an audience on matters of war. Honored Council, Alana began, her voice steady despite the weight of thousands of alien eyes upon her. The Krell Dominion has issued a declaration of war against Earth. They demand our immediate surrender and annexation into their empire. A series of clicks, chirps, and translated laughter rippled through the chamber. High Counselor Vex Thor, a towering insectoid being, leaned forward on his platform. And you come here for what, human? Protection? His mandibles clicked with amusement. Your species occupies a single world. The Krell control 700 systems. This is not war. This is extermination waiting to happen. Alana's expression remained neutral. We come as a courtesy, High Counselor, to warn the Council that humanity will defend itself. We wish to make our position clear before actions are taken that cannot be undone. Warn us. Another counselor, a gaseous being named Shimrath, pulsed with colors indicating mockery. Young species, do you understand nothing of galactic warfare? The Krell possess weapons that can shatter planets. Their fleets number in the tens of thousands. What warning could you possibly offer? Abraham sat in the observation deck above the chamber floor, watching his partner address the council. As Earth's military attaché, he had advised against this approach. The council would never intervene. They followed a strict policy of non-interference in conflicts between member species. But Alana had insisted, not for help, but for something else entirely. We warn them, she had told him the night before. When they come for our people, when they realize what we are, I want it on record that we tried to prevent this. Abraham had seen that look in her eyes before. It was the same look his grandfather had described seeing in soldiers before impossible battles. Not fear, not bravado, just cold, calculating determination. The Krell ambassador, a hulking creature covered in bony plates, rose from his platform. The human speaks of warnings and defense. Let me provide clarity. In 30 standard hours, our fleet will arrive at Earth. Your world will be given one opportunity to surrender. If you refuse, we will demonstrate why 143 species have bent their knee to Krell superiority. Then we have 30 hours, Alana said simply. The chamber erupted in discourse. Several counselors expressed concern over the brazenness of the Krell declaration. Others argued it was simply the natural order. Strong species dominated weak ones. Throughout it all, Alana stood motionless, waiting for silence. When the chamber finally quieted, Vex Thor spoke again. Human ambassador, the council acknowledges your statement. However, we cannot intervene. This is, regrettably, a matter between Earth and the Krell Dominion. You are dismissed. Alana bowed her head slightly. Thank you, High Counselor. I ask only that this session be recorded and preserved in the council archives. What happens next? All sides should remember that humanity sought peace first. 28 hours later, the Krell fleet emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. 3,000 warships, each the size of a small city, advanced in perfect formation. It was a force that had conquered hundreds of worlds. Admiral Kreshnock stood on the bridge of the flagship, his 3 eyes gleaming with anticipation. Open a channel to the human homeworld, he commanded. The viewscreen flickered to life, showing not a terrified planetary leader, but Abraham, now wearing the uniform of Earth's Unified Defense Command. Behind him, display screens showed what appeared to be empty space. I am Supreme Commander Abraham of Earth. You have 30 seconds to reverse course. Kreshnock's laughter boomed through the bridge. You dare threaten us? Scan their planet. How many vessels do they have? Sir, sensors indicate approximately 5,000 ships in orbit around their world. Primitive designs. No match for even our smallest fighters. The Admiral's amusement grew. 5,000 ships to face 3,000 of ours. Do they not understand the difference in technology and firepower? Human Commander, this is your final opportunity. Surrender, or watch your world burn. Abraham's expression never changed. You were warned. We tried. He made a gesture off-screen. Activate the network. Across the solar system, thousands of objects that had been dismissed as asteroids, debris, and natural formations suddenly came to life. They had been there for weeks, hidden in plain sight, waiting. These weren't ships. They were weapons platforms, each one a testament to humanity's most dangerous trait. Humans didn't just fight wars. They prepared for them. They planned. They adapted. And most importantly, they learned from every species they encountered. The platforms unleashed a coordinated barrage that made the void itself seem to scream. Weapons designed from studying 47 different alien technologies, refined and improved with human ingenuity, tore through the Krell formation. But that wasn't the worst of it. The worst came when the Krell realized the platforms were moving, repositioning with impossible speed. They weren't automated, they were piloted by humans who had volunteered to sit in sealed coffins in the cold of space for weeks, waiting for this moment. Sir, we're being jammed across all frequencies. They're somehow interfering with our fleet coordination. Kreshnak watched in horror as his ships, designed to fight as a unified force, suddenly became isolated units. The humans had studied Krell tactics and found the weakness, their over-reliance on networked command structures. Within 4 hours, 2,000 Krell ships were destroyed or disabled. The remainder fled in disorder. Back on the Galactic Council station, Alana stood before the chamber once more. The counselors sat in stunned silence as casualty reports flooded in. You said you warned us. Vexthor finally spoke, his voice subdued. What exactly were you warning us of? Alana met his compound eyes without flinching. We warned you that humanity would defend itself. But I suppose we should have been more specific. She paused, letting her next words carry through the chamber. Humans don't have the strongest bodies. We don't live the longest. We can't breathe methane or survive in hard vacuum. But we have something else. And what is that? Shimrath pulsed, the colors now showing genuine curiosity rather than mockery. We've spent our entire existence fighting. Fighting nature. Fighting each other. Fighting to survive on a world that tried to kill us in 1,000 different ways. War isn't something we study. It's woven into our DNA. Every species we meet, every technology we encounter, we learn from it. We adapt it. We make it better. And then we prepare for the day someone decides we're weak enough to attack. She gestured to the display showing the wreckage of the Krell fleet. The Krell studied our planet for months before attacking. They saw our cities, our technology, our military. But they made one critical mistake. They assumed that what they could see was all we had. Humans learned long ago to show strength, but prepare for war. Abraham's voice came through the chamber's communication system. The remaining Krell vessels are requesting terms of surrender. How shall we respond? Alana looked around the chamber at the assembled species, seeing their expressions shift from dismissal to respect, and in some cases, to fear. Tell them we accept their surrender, she said calmly, and inform the Galactic Council that Earth will be forwarding reparations demands for the unprovoked attack. We seek only to exist in peace, but we will not be victimized. As Alana left the chamber, Vexthor leaned back in his seat, his mandibles clicking thoughtfully. Note for the records, he said quietly. When dealing with humans, remember this day. They are not strong because they cannot be defeated. They are strong because they refuse to accept defeat. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never declare war on a species that has spent its entire existence perfecting the art of survival.